All aboard the Gingerbread Express. A train made out of completely ordinary gingerbread. I think. So I was wrong. So back when the pandemic started and school went out, I started helping my mom teach kindergarten at Crestwood Elementary and made all of their videos. We made over 150 video lessons. And for the holidays, I decided I wanted to make a 3D animated project in Blender where I made a gingerbread train. And it was such a fun project that I thought we could do something winter/gingerbread themed for our last creative project for the semester. So welcome to the Winter Gingerbread Project. You are going to be building a gingerbread wintry world with, gingerbread people, any kind of sets you want to build, an environment. You're going to animate the gingerbread person. You're going to light it. You're going to kind of take everything we've done in the class and turn it into a final project to show at our art gallery at the end of the month. So without further ado, welcome to the Winter Gingerbread World Project. Let's go ahead and dive in and start making a gingerbread person. Let's go. Okay, welcome back to Blender. If you didn't notice, I got a new microphone. This will make all of the tutorials sound a lot better. Okay, let's go ahead and start diving in making this gingerbread person. I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything. We don't really need any of the default stuff that comes in Blender. I just select everything and then I hit the delete key. So we are making a gingerbread person. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in reference. So we need a general shape to help us outline the shape of the gingerbread person. Similar to like a cookie cutter when you're making a gingerbread cookie in real life. We're going to go to File, Import, Images as Planes. By the way, if you do not have images as planes showing up in your import menu, go to Edit, Preferences, and then go to add-ons and then search for images as planes and then click that checkbox and then you should be able to import in the reference plane. And then I'm gonna go to where I saved the reference image. I included a reference image on the canvas so you can go ahead and download that. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it in and we're gonna see it if we go into textured view so then we can see. Okay, cool. Coloringall.com. Yeah, I got this from the internet. You can come up with your own gingerbread cookie cutter, but this one's kind of a basic one. It also has a good sense of like arms and legs so that we can get it to move later on. We're gonna go ahead and set up this reference plane. This is called a reference plane. Whenever you model a character, it's really important to have some good concept art. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use a cube as some reference. A cube in Blender units is about how tall a person should be. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna kind of RX 90. So I rotate along the X axis, you type in 90, you can get this thing to work. So let's see from the front here. Okay, that's about how big a person would be. And in this gingerbread world, that's how big of a person might be, Go ahead and delete that cube. I don't need it. now that we have this reference plane set up, we're gonna make sure this reference plane isn't clickable because we're gonna get really annoyed later on down the line if we just keep on accidentally clicking this thing. So if you look up here in our collection in the outliner, we have this gingerbread man outline and then this little mousy icon. This is a disable selection tool. We can actually, if we click this, now we can't click it. We can't even click it if we try. And if we click this back, now we can click it. So this is really good if we don't want to click something. And if you don't see this for some reason, go ahead and click on the filter and make sure this is selected. This little mousy icon, mouse cursor icon thing. Make sure that's selected. Okay, so we have this reference plane set up. Let's go ahead and start modeling our gingerbread person. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and switch into orthographic view by hitting this button right here. This gets us into orthographic view so we can see kind of like a perfectly, I guess it's a great way to look at just to model characters. So let's go ahead and start by adding a plane. So let's go add mesh plane. It's flat on the ground right now. We need to get it to rotate. So let's hit RX 90 and then we'll rotate. So right now it's, this doesn't look like a gingerbread. We need to actually shape it into a gingerbread. So the first thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into edit mode. So we're gonna go object mode, edit mode. And we're gonna start shaping this into our gingerbread person. So first things first, I'm gonna select the left vertices and just kind of put them right at the halfway point. Now, what we're gonna start doing is something that I think is really cool. So I'm gonna just move everything up, by the way. So I'm just gonna move that at the top of the head like so. And then at the base of the foot. We're only gonna model this side of it and then the other side will be mirrored over. So let me show you how I get that set up. So I'm just getting this set up so that this plane is about half the size or half exactly on the halfway mark of this gingerbread person. We're gonna actually first label this call this the gingerbread person mesh. Yeah. Okay, so now let's get the mesh to mirror over. So we only have to really model this side and everything on this side will mirror over. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is we need to add a mirror modifier and that is in the modifiers tab. It's go to this little wrench icon, then go to add modifier and then search for the mirror modifier. Boop, and there it is. Okay, so, that is going to basically what you see is it just duplicated it over like the halfway point. Remember, we're in edit mode still. So that mirror modifier, if we select a vertex and hit G and grab it, look at what happens. The other vertex kind of moves with it too. That's because it's mirroring everything the other vertex does. Actually, if we do it from this side, yeah, that's a little easier. I'll do that on that side. Okay, let's go ahead and start defining the shape of this gingerbread person. Let's go ahead and start selecting the vertices. So we're gonna select these top vertices. I'm gonna hit GX. I'll move them into right here. And then I'm gonna grab these vertices on the bottom, GY, actually GZ, and push them up. Like so. So now we have a triangle. I'm like, that's not a gingerbread person. And then I hit GX to move them in. Now we want to start shaping up the head of the gingerbread person. We're gonna kind of work downwards. So I'm gonna add an edge loop to give us some more data to play with, some more control. So I'm gonna go over here to the loop cut tool. I'm gonna click on it and hit add a loop cut. And now we have a little bit more control. So I'm gonna hit GX, move this out to the head, and you're like, okay, this does not look like a gingerbread person. Like, well, not yet. We need to add a little bit more loop cuts. So we're going to add another one up here, another one down here, and then we're going to hit GX, move this out, move this out, and you kind of see what we're doing. We're kind of, add a loop cut here, add a loop cut there, until we get kind of a nice like a nice smooth shape. So I'm just gonna kind of add a loop cut here, bring a vertex out, and then add a loop cut down here, bring this out. Yes. Okay, and we've made the head. Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe we can add a little bit more detail in here, but we will go as in more detail, as in more like loop cuts. But honestly, we'll be fine for now. So let's go to edge selection mode, and we're gonna select this bottom edge. So that means that little bottom edge. Remember, in 3D modeling, you can select edges, you can select faces, you can select vertices, and you control that by up here. We're going to go to edge select mode, and we're going to now make the body. So let's hit extrude E. So we can either right click and say extrude edges, or we can just hit E. I just like hitting E. It's faster. Easy breezy. So E for extrude. I'm going to do it right here. I think you should do it right at the base of the arms. And then I'm going to select this vertice. So I'm going to go to vertex select mode and then move this out a little bit. Because remember, we're going to actually extrude the arms off of this. So that would be nice to have that later. So I'm going to hit E, Z, bring this down to like that V of the legs. And then I'm going to go to vertex select mode and kind of bring this out a little bit. Yeah, you kind of see what we're doing. So let's do the arms while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go to edge select mode. I'm going to say E, and it's not going to look that good for a second, but that's okay. I'm just going to go to right here. I'm going to go to vertex select mode. I'm going to click on this one little vertice that's pointing out, and kind of get that kind of back in a square shape. Let's bring these up to like the base of the arm. Yeah. So I'm trying to basically make this into an arm shape. So I'm gonna go to edge select mode, E, extrude. I'm gonna scale this down. I'm going to add another loop cut here, and then we're gonna basically, oopsies, Control Z to undo. I'm gonna hit scale this up, just trying to kind of round things out a little bit. All right, that. Then I'm gonna add another loop cut in between, and then scale that one up as well. Just kind of trying to define our shape a little bit. Nice. Okay. Okay, so now we have the arms. We're making great progress. Let's go ahead and add the legs. So let's go to select. We're going to select. We're going to go back to orthographic view. This is why orthographic view is just really helpful, because we can just like go through this super fast. I'm gonna go extrude, hit E to extrude. I'm gonna go right here, and then go to vertex select mode, kind of bring this one in a little bit. Yes. Click on the edge, extrude. You got this. You could do this. This is well within our powers. I'm gonna. How do I want to do this? I want maybe like right here. This is kind of a big point. Yeah, okay. I'm just like trying to think about how I want to shape this foot. I know we're gonna get to here. RY. So I'm just going to rotate this, scale it down. R to rotate. And then I'm just going to make this tiny. Because I'm just trying to make it all kind of in line. Like that. We scale up. Okay, and then now we're going to add some loop cuts. So we want to scale this up for sure. For sure. Scale that up. Hit G to grab it. And then we're going to add another loop cut here. Scale that one up. You know the drill. Isn't this fun? The gingerbread. Gingerbread. Gingerbread person singing the song while making gingerbread. I'm wearing the sweater for the gingerbread, you know. Add one more right there, just to even out that heel a little bit. That vertex is going a little straight. Okay, hold on a second. You get back here. Let's get that back into place. Just kind of seeing where this is going. Oh, that's looking good. That's looking good. Okay. Cool. Maybe one more loop cut right there. You know, it's kind of a high density zone, you know. Look at that. We have a gingerbread person already. Okay, but our gingerbread person is looking very paper thin. Let's go ahead and add some depth. So we're gonna go back into edit mode. We're gonna go to face selection mode, make sure we're on select box. I'm gonna hit A, I'm gonna select all the faces, and then I'm gonna hit E to extrude it out. Same way we extruded the tentacles on the squishy. Maybe give it some depth, maybe put it right there. Yeah, that seems good. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back into object mode and we are going to apply the mirror modifier. So basically, we've had this thing mirroring everything we did on this side over to this side. And we're actually going to just kind of put it all together to make it all one cookie so we can all edit it together. Okay, so I am now in object mode. Let's apply that mirror modifier. First off, before we do that, let's just make sure clipping, prevent vertices from going through the mirror. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna check the clipping box. That's a good one. We're gonna change the merge. We're gonna keep that, make sure that it does indeed merge the vertices. We do that by just dragging that number up. That looks pretty good. And then to apply the modifier, what we're gonna do is we are going to click on this little arrow and hit apply. And now if we go into edit mode, we can see that this is all one mesh. Very cool. So we have our gingerbread person. It has some thickness. Let's round the top. So imagine when you're cooking a gingerbread person, baking in the oven, it's not like a perfect like block. It has a little bit of roundness at the top. We're gonna do that. We've already extruded it and we have all these faces selected. Let's go ahead and hit I to inset the faces like so. Insetting the faces basically creates a mini row of faces within the faces. And then we're gonna hit G, Y, and we're going to add a little bit of rounded thickness onto that. So let's get that like right there. Okay, so that is giving it some thickness. I'm noticing at the top, I have these weird pull situation going on. Let's see if we can fix that. It appears to be, is this a triangle? It is a triangle. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix this. I can fix this. Problem is we have these triangles right here. I actually kind of don't want these triangles. So let's go ahead and delete them, faces, delete them, faces. And then we're gonna go, I'm gonna try to fix this. We have some, interesting, we have some faces going down the spine. Let's go ahead and try to delete those two. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to clean this up. I'm gonna hold Control. I use period on the numpad to focus on an object, and I'm just gonna clean this up. I'm gonna hold Control, and look at that. If you hold Control down, it'll select multiple faces. So I'm just trying to clean this up a little bit. Just so, because later on, we're gonna rig it and make it walk, and we wanna make sure it's all cleaned up. Let's go ahead and delete that. Okay, there we go. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix this up here. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna extrude this out to here. So I'm gonna hit E. I'm gonna go ahead and merge these two vertices. And basically what I'm trying to do is I'm just doing some cleanup, and we do merge vertices at center. Yeah, that works. And then I'm gonna go ahead and select these edges and then bridge them. Bridge edge loops. Boom. Nice. Okay. Now what we can do is we can hit that and hit F, that fills it in. Click that, hit F, that fills it in. And now we have some good looking geometry. Yeah, there we go. We fixed our geometry a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead, and these aren't quite straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and select these vertexes. I'm gonna say SX0, and that straightens them out. That makes them flat. It's basically S for scale, X on the x-axis, and then 0 basically flattens them out into a line. Makes it look kind of nice. Okay, there we go. Now what we have our gingerbread person. I'm going to object mode and take a look at it. We might go right click shade smooth, and now it looks like kind of a smooth cookie. I'm gonna also add a modifier on the right here in the modifiers tab. We can click on this, add modifier, and a subdivision surface. And this will smooth out this cookie even more. But you can see on the edges here, we have these weird, like the different, like the edges kind of go back and forth here. Hey, look at that. It like pulls it out. We don't want that. We can fix that if we go into edit mode, and we need to add a few extra edge loops to get these to play nice. So we're gonna go to loop cut tool, just like before. And if we click on this neck area right here and drag down, it starts to become more sharp. So basically what we need to do is just add an edge loop and then push it in. Add an edge loop on the arms, push it in, like so. Just putting an edge loop around. This will keep things nice, smooth. Now we'll put an edge loop here, push that in. Edge loop here, push that in. Edge loop here, push that in. Then, wow. Now we have a great looking cookie that kind of has a little bit of depth. Then, after we add our subdivision surface, we're going to apply it. So go ahead and click on the arrow and hit apply. So to make the gingerbread person look a little bit thicker and like the dough rose in the oven a little bit, I'm going to use sculpt mode, and I'm going to use the inflate brush. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn down the strength, maybe like 0.1, and just kind of do a light like little once over on everything. Just clicking a little bit. Then we look from the side.
Undo a little bit. Maybe make the radius a little bigger. Now. There we go. There we go. This is looking like a gingerbread person. Just gonna brush out the edges a little bit. Maybe puffs up the chest a little bit.
Nice. Okay, and there we go. We have a gingerbread person hot out of the oven. Next up, we're going to be giving it a face and shading it, and it's going to be a great time. So anyways, thanks for hanging out. We're going to continue this very soon. Thanks. Bye.